Why not?
Yeah.
Got one on you. Check 75.
Check 75. And we're back.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, back on a Wednesday.
Welcome Wednesday. What is today?
Today is October 14th, I believe.
Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
This is day 288
of Sober October? I know.
2020.
Is it 208? This is the 208th day of the year?
288 day.
88th day of the year.
I think, yeah.
Oh.
If I did the math
sense.
correct,
Yeah, there's only...
Which is very likely I did not do the math correct, but
Sounds
I think
right.
that's what it is.
Because there's only November and December left.
Yeah, and we're 20 days from a little thing called an election in this country, which is, man, it's finally here.
I know. What is it? Obviously, November 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Which is a Tuesday usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think more people have voted already, I think, than maybe all of 2018 or some crazy number.
Wow.
Early voting is just out of the world.
Did you get your ballot yet?
I have not. I think they mailed it out today.
I got my
Washington
voter
State, you should be
packet.
getting it by the time you see this.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Man.
Washington.
Well, we got a fun show tonight for you guys out there in the world, all over the world. We got our usual segment. We got some news, lots of happenings in the world.
Lots of weirdness, lots of hardcore news.
Indeed, we got. We're gonna do a Philosopher's Corner here live on set.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna be different, fun.
Like it.
Yeah, we got some fun news.
We got some fun news. We're going to give you an update on our mega battle World War II Axis and Allies. It's happening.
Rewriting history.
Yeah, we got a couple more rounds in super speed motion for you.
I bought way too many games this last week.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I saw the stack in the other room.
Yeah, I went a little crazy.
Nice.
You know, it's winter. It's time to cuddle up. But I thought, you know, this week, this show today, I'll bring them out and just show them and explain on the bottom. Could be kind of fun.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And we've got a little segment where our kids got together.
Yeah.
Because they're COVID buddies, I guess. Is that what you call it?
That needs a term.
Quarantine buddies or something?
COVID
Maybe.
friends.
Anyway, they play together all the time. And they played a little game, and we'll go through that a little later. We got a little segment for that. Show you one of those kids' games that we love.
Yeah, we got to talk about them Hawks, always. It was quite a Sunday.
I don't call them the heart attack kids for nothing, because, man, in this whole season, it seems like every game coming down to the thinnest of wires.
Every week, So. And I watched that Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I've been meaning to see that.
Yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about that.
Hearing about that.
And I found a new favorite tea.
Ooh.
This is Madagascar vanilla tea.
Ooh.
Yes, it's good and it's caffeine free.
Nice, yeah.
And I'm having to make do with no whiskey.
I've got an orange spiced tea that I love that's caffeine free, and get down with that all the time.
Cool.
Look at us old guys talking about tea.
Let's come with us.
Would you like a spot of tea?
We should compare teas on our show. Maybe we'll make that.
Maybe we'll do that next time.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take them to a break, and then we'll come back with the news. Are we missing some?
We're missing. Guess what we got?
What did we get?
We got yet another voicemail.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to let you try to guess who it is when we listen to it.
All right.
So check it out. It's coming up.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Well, you know, you don't look like you're having a lot of fun.
But
I love you violently with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Nice. Did you just write that today?
Back on a Tuesday. No, that was actually from one of our previous shows, but I wrote it. But I wrote it.
It's nice.
I
I
wrote
like
that
it.
one. Oh, thank
SoundCloud.
you. SoundCloud, Dunce Cap Games Productions.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Check it
That's
out.
the time.
Lots of good music up there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Use it, abuse it.
Indeed.
Take it for whatever.
Tell them where you got it. That's all we ask.
Yeah. So that was an interesting voicemail we just got.
I have always kind of been a fan of Mr. Sheen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
you know.
I'm kind of blushing a little bit that he would say such a thing to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie.
Do you remember Hot Shots Part 2? I think it was.
do.
Loved you in Wall Street.
Yeah.
Awesome. One of my favorite lines.
Such a good movie. That thing had me crying when I was a kid. Holy moly. So good.
Yeah, rock
So
on.
good.
Thanks, Charlie.
Indeed, thanks. And any other celebrities out there that want to shoot us a line?
Send a call in, man. Our voicemail picks up.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
It's reliable.
Indeed, it is. Well, hey, what's been going on in the world? Anything I should know about?
So Trump has completely claimed himself completely free of the COVID, of the pandemic.
He didn't even have COVID when we last filmed, did he?
I think he said, "Oh, did he not have it yet?"
So in between a week of our shows,
That's
Trump
right.
got
You
and
might
was
be right, yeah. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So Trump, who has claimed the pandemic as a hoax at one point, as a Democrat hoax, as the China flu,
He still calls
and
it
all
that,
this
right?
stuff, yeah,
China virus or
Kung flu and all that stuff. Refuses to wear a mask in public, refuses to wear a mask around people, gives people crap for wearing a mask. He got it in a super spreader
COVID.
event.
Yeah.
For the nomination, the announcement of the nomination of the next Supreme Court
Yeah, and
Justice.
that's affecting our senators and our elected officials.
Yeah, because
and
it was like
the
3
staff.
senators that got it too.
Yeah.
So anyway, he went through steroids. He went through some kind of therapy at the hospital. He's got world-class doctors.
The best.
The best. All kinds of experimental
doctors.
drugs that he got, and now he thinks he's Superman, and he's out kissing babies. He even remarked to an audience that he would love to go out into the crowd at one of his last rallies and kiss all the women and kiss all the men too. Why not?
Whoa.
Why not? So it's not just
Who
kissing
is this
babies.
guy?
Oh, this is the guy that grabs women by the
Yeah.
what? So.
My
Yeah, man.
goodness.
So, funny story about that is he actually had this idea. This is your American president, everybody.
Hey, our American president too. Come on.
Okay, this is the American president actually had this idea that when he went back to the White House, he was going to sort of sullenly, sickly walk up the stairs like he was completely affected, and then when he got up to the top of the stairs, he was going to rip open his dress shirt and reveal a Superman t-shirt underneath. This is his plan. This is what he was going to do until
Really?
he got talked out of it. So instead, he went to the top of the stairs, heaving his guts out from walking up a flight of stairs, and took off his mask and looked at the cameras defiantly like he has solved the COVID problem. All you need to do is get it, because it's not that bad.
Invincible. I saw a little thing on the internet this week that is even funnier to me now. It was like an image of Willy Wonka from the old Charlie's Chocolate Factory.
The Gene Wilder one?
Yeah, and he
Okay.
had a Trump mask on, and he was that first scene when he's walking out of the chocolate factory and he has a cane and he looks all crippled. And then he falls over, but then he does like a little forward roll and jumps up and he's like, ah! And they have it with Trump's face.
That's exactly what he wanted to do. I mean, that's personified exactly what he wanted to do. So
Awesome.
good on him. I mean, he beat it. He's got the world class. Whether he had it or not, there's conspiracy theories that
Yes.
people think he didn't even have it. Whatever,
It
dude.
was all just made up because he got crushed in the debate. by-
Yeah, and I don't know that, maybe it was a sympathy thing. Maybe it was that he could beat it really quick and try to show the world that, oh my gosh, it's not that bad. And that's what he's come out and said, right?
Yeah.
So now the Republicans are all pushing a very debunked theory that herd immunity would work. So everybody should go out and get this thing and, have at it like measles, chicken
The
pox.
Republicans are promoting this. So we may see like the more Republican states, the rural states, the South, all just open up and go for it, while the rest of the states
Yeah,
hunker
well,
down.
here's an example. So, Wisconsin had been controlled by a Republican legislature and a Republican governor for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
They finally voted out Scott Walker, who was the governor there, and a new Democrat has taken over as governor, and that governor has been trying like hell to put in restrictions and mandates to get people to wear masks and social distance and close certain things. And the legislature, which is still Republican, has been fighting him tooth and nail every single way. Well, what's happening in Wisconsin? I'll give you one guess.
They're going down in cases.
Oh my God. So they are the fastest rising state, and they are just behind New York and California in new cases. So
wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing to be fooling with, man. This is something you've got to deal with.
And it's weird because, like, you know, we're a United States of America, and so with states all doing different stuff and people traveling freely throughout the country, we're kind of beholden to our weakest link in a way.
Yeah, and that show just came back, right? The weakest link. Trump, you are the weakest link.
Indeed, that's scary.
Yeah, man. So politics as usual is going on. They've got the Supreme Court nominee going through the Judiciary Committee in the Senate right now. Doesn't look like there's any stopping it. That she probably will be confirmed by the Senate, and she will be sitting on the Supreme Court
by end of year.
Well, within probably a week and a half or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some cases that are coming up that she needs to be a part of, including the ACA. Trump has been fighting to get the ACA to be ruled unconstitutional for 4 years now, and it finally looks like they're going to be able to kill it. And then, we'll see what happens.
I feel like I read a headline, but I didn't dive into the article, that Trump is facing a lot of lawsuits when he leaves office.
Yeah.
There's like 9 big lawsuits. You saw that too? Yeah. Coming after him as soon as he is voted out.
And it's everything from, like, women accusing him of sexual harassment to women suing him for libel because they did claim sexual harassment, and he says he didn't. Called them liars and nasty women, probably.
Yeah,
to bankruptcy stuff and tax stuff. So, I mean, he's going to get it from all fronts. So this guy has got to stay in the office if he has any chance of
staying out of jail.
Staying out of jail.
I wonder if we've had a president go from the office to straight to jail in the past.
No.
Could be setting a new precedent.
Could be setting a new precedent. So right now, as we're talking, I think Biden's up, 14 points nationally, something like that?
I keep seeing it's going up and up, like his lead. Going to the media, which freaks me out because of the Hillary situation.
Right, I mean, polls take them or leave them, but there's some trends that I won't get too deep into because I'm into this stuff, but there's some trends that are looking very favorable for Mr. Biden.
Okay, good.
And the money game, I mean, Trump's pulling money out of advertising dollars in Michigan and Pennsylvania, different places. He just doesn't have the money game anymore like Biden does. So there's some real good trends that are leading towards Biden. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. People are thinking blue wave. Biden might get 400 plus electoral college votes. I don't know if it'll be that much of a blowout, but it's not looking good for the Trump world.
Well, I had my vote influenced this week.
Okay.
I have been thinking I would cast my vote for one of the third parties, like the Libertarians.
Right. We talked about that.
Yeah. And I heard an argument that is making me rethink that. My girlfriend mentioned, she's a big Biden supporter, that the more we can make this election a landslide, the less likely it will be that there will be an issue with the transfer of power.
Yeah.
And absolutely. So that kind of landed with me. I'm like, I don't like either candidate, but the more we can make it a landslide in Biden's favor, the less likely Trump is to try and hold on to power. The less options he'll have to do so.
And the less options too. If he loses a state like Florida, he's got no path to victory. If he loses Texas, he's completely out of it. I don't think he'll lose Texas. I think by 2024, Texas will be a blue state. Mark my words right now. We'll check back with me in 4 years. But and then if Texas goes blue and stays consistently blue, there will never be another Republican president.
Texas is like the third most populous state.
Yeah, it's got, I think, 35 electoral college votes. I think it's California, then New York, and then Texas.
And lots of people moving to Texas. Joe Rogan podcast moved to Texas, and a lot of people listen to that and kind of
a lot of immigrants coming in there, and not just South American and Mexican immigrants. We're talking Indian folks and European folks coming in, Asian folks, because it's got a lot of growth. There's a lot of companies down there.
Yeah, there are going to be some gun-toting liberals up there on their
Hey,
ranches.
I'm a gun-toting liberal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, hell yeah. Cool.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of the hard news right now that I've been following. Trump refused to do a virtual debate because he had the COVID. They decided to move the second presidential debate to a virtual format, and he was like, "I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a virtual debate. We meet eye to eye, face to face."
So no debate.
And so the Commission on Debate said, "All right, screw it. We're not going to have that debate." So there is one more scheduled, I think, for next week, something like that.
This is after most people have voted.
That's the thing. I mean, there's so much early voting right now. Have you seen the long lines in like Georgia and Florida and different things? Oh, there's been news reports that just lines around the block. People are eager to vote this guy out, or just vote in general.
Right on. Well,
So
more voting, good. More engagement in democracy, good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Kyle, let's take a little itty bitty break. I'm gonna guzzle some water so my pipes are all clear.
Sounds good. When we come back, I have a little bit of research I did. I'd like to share with the people. That's kind of Trump related.
I'm really interested in this too. And I got some fun news, which we might get to in the next segment or wait another segment. So,
all right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And welcome back to the show.
Rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an old friend of mine playing guitar on that one. Old friend from back in the college days.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know who the hell he is now, but a guy named Getch.
Okay. Getch, if you're out there and you're watching,
Thank you.
drop a line, man.
Yeah, hit me up, man. It's been ages.
We'll get you on the show and we'll do a little jam session.
Yeah, well, that was a lot of Trump news, and it's such a wild thing to be on this ride. I mean, maybe everybody feels like that in the time they live in, but this feels extraordinarily weird.
And maybe it's just because it's 2020 and everything else is just so effed up right now.
Well, and I mean, a president who wants to go walk into a crowd after claiming to have the actual disease that we're all hiding from.
He had it.
Yeah.
But he's not contagious at all.
Indeed. Well, hey, speaking of Trump, Charles.
Yeah.
I did a little research this week because I've heard this group called QAnon and that name thrown around quite a bit.
Yeah, and you've probably heard a lot about it in the news if you're watching.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it.
Yeah, and I've always been one for conspiracies. I'm a big conspiracy fan.
Okay.
And so I was like, what's this QAnon conspiracy? I need to look this up.
Real quick, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory, honestly, is still the story that we're being told about 9/11.
Oh. Okay.
I don't believe it!
All right.
I don't believe it. There's more there.
Yeah.
Tell the people. They let the Bin Laden family fly out of the U.S. with the only airplanes that were allowed.
They did,
Building
yeah.
7 fell down. Why? These things, they make me think.
Yeah.
What's your favorite conspiracy?
I don't know. I'm not honestly a big conspiracy guy.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's extremely hard in this country, in this world, especially nowadays, to be able to hide stuff like that.
That's true.
I mean, there's some true conspiracies, and we know they do happen, like hiding FDR's illness for years and years.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So there are real conspiracies out there. I just think it's really hard to hide that kind of stuff in this day and age.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Maybe I'll switch one of these weeks and do a conspiracy corner.
Yes,
because I love them. There's so many. But this one was weird. I do think the moon landing happened. By the way, I believe in the moon landing.
Yeah, I think
I believe that occurred.
Extremely hard to fake.
Yes.
Especially with hundreds of people, thousands of people probably involved in the whole
Well, people
process.
watch the rockets go up. I mean, what's going on here? Anyway, this QAnon thing kept coming up in the news, that a bunch of Trump supporters are QAnon members, and there's actually some senators and Congress people that are QAnon believers.
Yeah.
Trump has had photo ops with some prominent leaders, apparently.
Sort of running on that, right?
Yeah. So I was like, what the hell is this? So I will share what I learned. And QAnon can be traced back to 2017 on this message board called 4chan, which is kind of an online...
I've been on 4chan.
All right, yeah, kind of an online... Apparently it's called by some folks as like a forum for trolls, internet trolls.
Yeah, it's big time.
Kind of alt-righty people.
On every topic you can imagine.
Yeah. And this guy Q started posting, or girl, who knows, and Q comes from the level of security clearance. I guess Q is the highest level of security clearance, or the level that this person had.
Do we know that's a fact that person has that level?
No, we don't know that at all.
They claim it.
Yeah, it was Q and then Q anonymous. So it's like some anonymous person that claims to have this security clearance started writing these things. And really, it was hard to track down exactly what it was, because there's so many weird little things. Like, you got everything from anti-vaxxers to people that think lizard people are in charge of stuff. Like, there's a huge rabbit hole.
Them.
Yeah, quite a interesting series of pathways you can take in the QAnon world.
Yeah.
But it was able to boil the core kind of Trump supporters down. I think we might have talked about this, but the idea that there's a high-ranking Democrats and Hollywood celebrities and producers have a secret child trafficking ring and human trafficking ring, and Trump was secretly recruited by the government, by the military, to get elected president and root these people out. And there's an event coming called what's it called? The big push or something, where all these Democrats and celebrities are going to get locked up overnight.
Captain Bone Spurs is going to come in and rescue the children.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah, and there's 24 political candidates claim some connection to this group.
Isn't part of that theory about the Hollywood and the Democrats thing that they, I forget the term for it, but they scare the hell out of the children so they can eat them and get all their endorphins and adrenaline and stuff.
Yeah,
some crazy thing.
Vampire their blood or something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and you had mentioned this conspiracy about Kennedy, not JFK or RFK, but a Kennedy dying in a plane crash. What Kennedy was it?
Oh, John Jr.?
John Jr.
Yeah.
And they think that he faked his death.
Oh.
Has been attending the Trump rallies. I feel like we talked about that.
He's attending the Trump rallies as a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Oh.
Secretly, part of the secret recruitment of Trump to break up the satanic child molesting, child trafficking group of Democrats and celebrities.
So John F. Kennedy's son, John,
yeah,
is part of this secret Wonder Twin Power
exactly,
group.
this QAnon group. He did not die. He faked his death and has been plotting since the 70s to get Trump into power to wipe out this pedophilia ring that apparently exists in the highest levels of the
I feel safer now.
Yeah, and it's quite a wild thing. Wikipedia says the QAnon folks allege that a cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles is running a global child sex trafficking ring and plotting against President Donald Trump, who is battling against the cabal. The theory also commonly asserts that Trump is planning a day of reckoning known as the Storm. That's what I was talking about. When thousands of members of the cabal will be arrested.
Is he going to use his super-duper missile?
Apparently.
To take him out in Space Force.
Oh, maybe.
Space Force is probably the guys that are going to take care of this for him.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a bizarre one. I'll get into this more in the show, but I also watched that Social Dilemma documentary, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a really interesting kind of phenomenon they talk about where with social media, like say I watched some weird conspiracy video about 9/11, then the algorithms are going to start pushing me stuff like Flat Earth Society, QAnon, Pizzagate. Like if I engage with one conspiracy asset or video,
right,
and then I get all this barrage because that was what I watched.
Oh my goodness!
And it's encouraging these extreme groups to get pumped full of members. Like it's filling them up because people are going down these rabbit holes and manipulating people, and social media is making it amplified.
Right.
So it's scary.
Right.
Anyway, that's about the scary news.
Okay.
Maybe we should stop scary news.
We're not drinking tonight.
No.
By the way, it's Sober October. We're in
13th. Well, today is 14.
Yeah.
So 13 days in.
2 weeks, basically.
Fully on track.
Nice. Good job, man.
Yeah. I'm sleeping good and running.
Check out Kyle's stats on our Instagram. Mm-hmm. You can check out, he posts every day, the previous day, right?
Yep.
Where he's at. So
I can't cheat. I can't post there at 8 p.m. and be like, whiskey all night. I gotta wait till the next day so I can fully check off the day.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah,
well done, sir.
Hey, thank you. It's good. Let's see. I guess we could share some fun news to try and lighten the mood a little bit.
I've got a couple. We've got a couple minutes here before we need to take a break.
All right, cool.
Kyle, do you collect anything?
I have in the past.
Okay.
I kind of collect board games, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that's probably me too. I've got quite a few. For me, one of my main collections is probably books. I've got a lot of autographed books, first edition stuff. I love it because I love to read them, and then
you got some wicked posters too.
I got some cool posters around the house. Yeah. There was a cat named Steve Jenny.
A cat named Steve Jenny.
A guy named Steve
a guy.
Jenny.
I was going down the cat path.
And in 1962, he was a 14-year-old Boy Scout.
Okay.
in his hometown, and I forget where his hometown was. I think in Illinois somewhere, small town Illinois. And he was, as a Boy Scout, helping out at a picnic that Richard Milhouse Nixon was giving a speech. Nixon was the vice president at the time. So he was giving a speech there, and he watched Mr. Nixon eat part of a sandwich.
Okay.
And then he made his speech, and then he left. And the half-eaten sandwich was sitting there, the partially eaten sandwich was sitting there, and he felt like he needed to save it.
The sandwich.
The sandwich. So he took it home, told his mom he wanted to save it, so they threw it in a plastic bag, put it in a jar, and put it in the freezer for 28 years.
Holy moly.
So 1998 comes around. Somehow Johnny Carson's people find out about this, and they book this guy on the show, and he brings it out, and he shows Johnny Carson the sandwich and all that stuff. Johnny's just bewildered that this guy would save the sandwich. So
that's DNA.
But he also brings a sandwich, the same type of sandwich that Nixon ate, and had Johnny Carson take a bite of it, and he saved that. On the show that night was also Steve Martin, and Steve Martin gave him like a used paper plate or something. So this guy has collected these things, and over time, people heard about it. They heard about it from the Carson show, and some other celebrities have sent him like half-eaten snacks and sandwiches, stuff like that. So this guy's got a collection of them sitting in his freezer. He won't give them up. So
food.
I just thought it was pretty strange, the stuff that people can collect.
Yeah.
Do you know what the sandwich was?
I don't, but I'll guess.
Guess.
Was it a rye sandwich?
It was not a rye sandwich. It was not a rye sandwich. It was a buffalo meat, shredded barbecue buffalo meat sandwich.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Anyway.
Buffalo meat.
That's the start of my good news, or my fun news. Let's take a quick little break.
All right.
And we'll come back and talk some more.
More news to come. This is good news.
What is going on?
Wait a second, we need an intro song.
Oh, and then I'll introduce that, and then we'll go into this.
Game face.
Welcome.
We're back.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, and I am kind of wanting to take a sandwich and take a bite of it and send it in a jar to this guy.
Yeah,
celebrity.
We're getting plenty of celebrities.
Yeah.
Maybe we could start collecting some crap like that.
Yeah,
what would we collect? I don't know.
Nice. Well, I found a few stories this week.
Hit on us.
They're kind of themed along a similar fashion. Well, 3 of them are. And they tie back to some other of the crazy news stories.
Okay.
Apparently I'm good at finding these kinds of stories.
Nice.
All right. Well, first, there's a beaver on the loose. In Roswell, New Mexico.
Too far away from me.
Yeah.
A beaver in New Mexico.
Yeah, a beaver in Roswell. So the city of Roswell is asking residents to keep an eye out for this beaver who escaped the local zoo.
Is this a Martian beaver?
You know, I'm thinking maybe the beaver, because the beaver had just been transferred from another zoo to Roswell, and then like escaped the very next day, and nobody knows where this beaver is. And so maybe
gotta hang on to your beaver,
right? These beavers just running about. My next story comes from Spokane.
Spokane,
and this involves some.
That's where I was born.
Bison. Speaking of bison burgers,
all right.
A pair of bison is on the loose in Spokane.
Really?
Yeah. The bison were roaming around the residential neighborhoods, and some people had some photos and some videos, and they're trying to catch them and relocate them. But
you know, we hear a lot of like
loose.
black bears and cougars and stuff like that in some of the higher elevation neighborhoods around here, like Issaquah, Bend and stuff.
Maybe a coyote here and there.
No bison.
Can you imagine walking out your door and seeing a bison on the street?
Yeah, I think that's when I turn around and go back to bed.
Mm-hmm. See what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, this next story comes to you from West Yorkshire, England.
Oh.
Some of the local folks were having a soccer game, a football game, if you will.
Football.
The city turned out. This was a big community event. It got delayed by 20 minutes because of an alpaca. An alpaca was on the loose.
What city was this?
West Yorkshire, England.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, if you told me Argentina, Chile,
Yeah.
something like that, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. But,
Indeed.
all right, it's just a roaming alpaca.
Yeah, these animals, man. Somehow I'm tied into animal escape stories. And so, if you ever lose an animal, let me know, and we can keep this thing going. Keep it clipping.
We'll get it on air,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just have one little piece
Yeah.
of quick news that the people should know.
Okay.
Evel Knievel's son is suing Disney.
Oh.
Did you know this?
I'm guessing I got a reason why.
Okay.
Is it because of the Toy Story 4
It
movie?
is. He's suing
The
Disney.
Duke Nukem? No, what was his name?
What was that guy called? Yeah, the little toy that...
The Keanu Reeves guy.
Yeah. But yes, he is suing. And, I think he'll probably win. Because that was a pretty solid likeness of Evel Knievel.
Anybody knows Evel Knievel. Now, kids that watch the movie wouldn't know, but we certainly would.
Yeah.
I had Evel Knievel dolls and motorcycles.
White suit with red stripes.
Yeah,
America. Yeah. But yeah, that's the news that I was able to dig up. Animals. Beavers, alpacas, and bisons.
All right. Cool. Animal escapes. We need 'em.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the 80s, you might have been too young, but
81.
The Iran-Contra scandal with Reagan and Oliver North and
I remember
all that.
he traded for some prisoners or something like that.
Do you remember that they talked about the U.S. Army and federal agencies buying $2,000 toilet seats and $4,000 hammers and stuff like that? And it's just because they would, as a way to funnel money and stuff. So I came across this story that made me think of that.
Okay.
I don't know that this is actually funneling money, but it just sounded kind of weird. So NASA, who I love space exploration. I wish we spent more time and money and effort on that.
I agree.
We'd be in Mars already. They're spending a lot of money to develop a new toilet seat for their female astronauts, right?
Oh.
I guess it's not as easy as you'd think to use to relieve yourself in space,
They got no
right?
gravity,
There's
I
no
guess.
gravity, so stuff's floating around. So they've got to have a way to kind of capture, what's coming out of people.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to eat, they got to poop, right?
The right
They gotta drink.
sized device.
The right size
on your
device
nethers.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they are developing a new titanium toilet seat
Titanium.
to make it easier for those female astronauts to relieve themselves. Get this, the price tag for the project, $23 million.
$23 million for a toilet.
So I was thinking,
That goes into space.
We always talk about developing our next new game.
Oh.
Kyle, maybe we develop a space toilet.
We could probably do it for less than $23 million.
Yeah, we'll take half that cash.
Yeah.
We need the money up front.
Yeah.
And
But we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it, man.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Yeah. And then I know right now with the COVID and everything, there's some people that are out of work. It's still sucky because restaurants aren't able to serve. Concert service industry is just decimated. But I did hear of a job that's available right now.
Oh, okay. Somebody's hiring.
Were you a big Top Ramen eater in college and stuff?
Top Ramen in
Love the Top
college,
Ramen.
yeah.
Well, Top Ramen, Nissan, I think is the name of the company, is looking for a chief noodle officer.
A CNO.
A chief noodle officer. Yeah, that works. That's
They need a CNO.
They need a CNO. What they need is somebody to come in and help them develop and test new ramen noodle recipes.
Oh.
The way to win the job is to upload photos and recipes of your own ramen creations. I don't have a link to this. Maybe we'll post one on the thing. Maybe we won't.
You can get some submissions.
Get some submissions in there. The winner gets $10,000 up front, a one-on-one mentorship with the CEO of Nissan, and a 50-year supply of Top Ramen.
50 years.
I'm trying to figure out what a 50-year supply looks like.
I hope it's by caloric intake and not by meal readiness. Because they say
Salt intake,
one of those
right?
cups is like a meal, but it's like maybe 300 calories, and most of them don't even count for anything.
Yeah, it's all salt, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's all just pure salt.
Yeah. Well, I hope the new recipe that wins has lots of salt in it.
Maybe some
That's
protein.
probably
I don't know what chicken.
Prerequisite.
Can they do like a freeze-dried pork or something, or beef or chicken in there? They don't really do that, do they?
I think they say they do. There's a few that I've seen. I mean, it depends. There's maybe 7 or 8 flavors you can get.
I haven't eaten that stuff since I was maybe in high school. So.
Yeah, it's been about college for me.
Yeah.
But I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's tasty and it's cheap and you can buy a ton of it.
Yeah, it's freeze dried.
But a 50-year supply, I'm wondering if that's like 5 pallets worth or if they send you like a packet a week or something.
Like on a subscription service?
For the next 50 years.
Just get a moving container, just chunk right in your driveway. Here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah, enjoy.
Man, I wonder how many people that would feed though. Can you say, I don't want the 50-year supply, send it to a food bank or something?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good thing.
Yeah, get a
Keep
tax
that in
write-off
mind.
too.
Yeah.
Whatever that's worth. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Well, what else? What else has been going on?
Man, just too much. There's a new October surprise, going back to politics a little bit, that just came out.
October surprise. Is that kind of a regular thing?
That is kind of a regular thing.
Kind of term,
it's kind of a long-standing thing that
long
somebody
shot,
will throw
last
something
minute,
out. Last minute
crisis or
so
scandal.
Today, the New York Post, which is a very conservative rag in New York, it kind of ranks up there with the Inquirer and stuff. They came out with a story that this guy that owns a computer repair shop in Delaware, got a hold of Hunter Biden's laptops, and he was asked because of water damage to transfer all the hard drive files to another drive file, and while he was doing that, he discovered several emails that were between Ukrainian shadow figures and Biden, Hunter Biden, basically saying thank you for getting a meeting with your dad set up when Joe was vice president and stuff like that.
Well, when I take my computer into the repair shop, I just know they're going to read all my emails if I ask them to transfer it. So this makes sense so far.
Yeah, reading the email, all this stuff. So a bunch of reporters figured out who this guy was. They tracked him down. They interviewed him earlier today, and his story changed about 14 times while they were talking to him. First, he called the FBI. They came and got it. Then it was the FBI that came to him to get it. Then the FBI subpoenaed him. But if he was willing to give it up, why did he need to have it subpoenaed?
This sounds fishy.
One of Rudy Giuliani's minions came down and was helping him out. He gave it to him. So did it go from this guy to Rudy Giuliani to the FBI, or this guy to the FBI to Rudy Giuliani somehow? He couldn't tell who the FBI agents were, didn't know their names, didn't know what office they were out of, but he was scared for his life because now the FBI might get him. But he's the one that called the FBI in the first place. So his story is all over the place. I think the FBI could clear this up in a hot second if they,
This kind of sounds like a group of old white guys in like a dark room with cigars, like,
smoking.
What should we do? What should we do? I know.
Files.
Let's get Polly down at the computer shop to say that he got Hunter Biden's laptop and it had some funky emails on it.
Well, I think they picked the wrong guy because he can't stick to his story. So this is a very interesting thing. I don't think it'll get much traction other than when they debunk it, it'll make the Trump folks look horrible. So
yeah. Well,
anyway,
how about this? Let's take them to break.
Okay.
And then let's come back and talk about them Seahawks.
Let's talk about Seahawks.
Seahawk time.
Oh, but before we do,
yes.
Check out this little video.
Oh, yeah.
We actually had our girls get together and play this kids game called Cat Crimes.
Cool
Very
game.
fun kids game. Check it out. We'll play you a little segment for it.
Awesome, yeah.
Hey, all you cats and kittens, we're going to do a little unboxing of a game called Cat Crimes. This is a kid game. It's pretty fun. My kids love it. So let's take a look. We've got the instructions, pretty detailed. Several different animal characters and a game board. Different levels of scenarios that you can play, a little bit more complex to pretty easy. So let's dive into the box. We've got a very sturdy, well-crafted game board. Small, but it helps you figure out what's happening. We've got several kitty cat stars of the game. That's Duchess. They each come with a little stand. Helps you move them around the board. Try to figure out what positions they'll end up in. Just like so. We've got little tokens that help you determine what the crime is. So broken potted plant, spilt coffee, somebody ate a bird, that kind of thing. The rest of our little cat characters, I think there's 6 in total. Very cute, very good artwork. Our favorite is Tomcat. And lastly, we've got a deck of cards, pretty good size. The green ones are for beginners. They talk about what the clues are, so you can try to figure it out. And on the back, they've got the actual answer to the riddle, to the crime, to figure it out. So we've got the green, jump into intermediate, which are yellow. Who broke the flower pot? Looks like maybe Ginger. Nope, that's Pipsqueak. Then we go to the blue, which is advanced. And then red for the expert ones, which take a little bit more time to figure out, but not too bad. Let's jump in and watch the kids play a couple of rounds.
Those are not. That's cool.
All right, Olivia, you're going first.
Okay.
Who ate the bird? Mr. Mittens was sitting across from Duchess. Mr. Mittens was sitting across from Duchess. Pipsqueak was sitting across from Sassy. Both Tomcat and Sassy were sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting in front of Catnip. Tomcat was sitting 3 seats from Mr. Mittens. Do you want to go through them again?
Yeah.
Mr. Mittens was sitting across from Duchess.
Mr. Mittens.
Pipsqueak was sitting across from Sassy. Both Tomcat and Sassy were sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting in front of Catnip. Tomcat was sitting 3 seats from Mr. Mittens.
I don't know if it's supposed to count like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3. 'Cause,
1,
the
2,
other-
3, yeah.
Okay, so
I think you got it.
I think it's Pipsqueak.
You think you got it? Okay, tell me if you're right.
The guilty cat is Pipsqueak.
Good job.
So let's see if we got the places right.
Gives you the answer on the back.
Yep, 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 yep. Good.
All right,
We did it.
so clear the board. Alanis. This one's going to be a flower pot.
Flower pot, flower pot. Flower pot. She's the bear, the bear, the bear.
Alanis. Who broke the flower pot? 3 cats were in the living room, but none were sitting next to each other. 3 cats were in the living room, but none were sitting next to each other. A cat wearing a bell was sitting near a paw print. Tomcat was sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting across from a cat with white paws.
Okay, next one.
Do you think you got it? You want me to go through them again?
We haven't put this one though.
Oh.
Yeah, go through them again.
Who broke the flower pot? 3 cats were in the living room,
but none were sitting next to each other? A cat wearing a bell was sitting near a paw print. Tomcat was sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting across from a cat with white paws. Do you guys think you've solved it?
Nope. Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
You want to go through it again?
Well, maybe. But it doesn't give any. But it didn't tell us where to place.
One thing I've noticed is that there's only 3 cats in the living room, and you guys have 6 cats.
So only 3 cats are actually in the game?
Correct.
Oh. Cool. I didn't realize there was only... Okay, wait, read it again.
Who broke the flower pot?
I don't know.
3 cats were in the living room, but none were sitting next to each other. A cat wearing a bell was sitting near a paw print. They can't be next to each other, remember. Tomcat was sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting across from a cat with white paws. Guys think you got it?
Yep.
Do you
Read
wanna
it
go-
over again.
Who broke the flower pot?
Ginger.
3 cats were in the living room, but none were sitting next to each other. A cat wearing a bell was sitting next to a paw print. Tomcat was sitting in front of a bell ball. Ginger was sitting across from a cat with white paws. You think you got it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Ginger.
Flip it over.
Wait.
The answer's on the back.
Oh. Ginger did it.
Did you get it?
Get it right.
You got it right. Good job, guys.
I mean, I still could have had it like this and just missed that one key, but then still could
All
have.
right. Well, good job, guys. I'm glad you're excited on the couch. Say goodbye to our viewers.
Goodbye, weird viewers. I have no idea who you are. So
Peace.
It's interesting to me.
All right.
Funny.
Till next time.
Bye, stranger.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, we are back and in charge and coming to you live from Renton, Washington.
And guess what else is in Renton, Washington?
What's in Renton, Washington?
Your 5-0 Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, cooking.
Nice, man. 5-0.
Yeah.
First time in franchise history.
Salute.
Salute.
to you,
Russell and
Seahawks.
crew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they did it in dramatic fashion like they normally do.
Right, that was a hard
down
game.
to the friggin' wire.
Last play.
And I promised my wife
Oh.
that I would admit, after watching the first half and then getting into the fourth quarter, I really did not think they were going to pull it out. I thought, man,
It wasn't
they're just
looking good.
an anemic performance. That
Yeah.
whole first half was just ridiculous.
Couldn't get any offense moving.
Couldn't get any offense. Couldn't
Yeah.
get any defensive stops. They couldn't get off the field in third
Oh,
down.
just
They couldn't
those
get off the field in
slow
fourth down.
drives were killers.
Here's a weird thing, Kyle, is this year, if you've noticed all the games across the league,
Mm-hmm.
defense has not been strong.
Nobody.
Total high-scoring games, man.
Huh.
Total high-scoring games. So, so this year, and it may be a COVID effect. It could be that there's no crowds. You know, so
Yeah.
there's not the crowd noise.
The
there's
defense
not
isn't as hyped and,
defense isn't
like-
as hyped.
Yeah.
There's maybe less penalties, all that good stuff. So, man, but what a game! What a game!
Yeah. Those Hawks.
They get a break. Get a
Yep.
bye this
5-0
week.
into a bye. That's
5-0 into a
pretty,
bye.
Pretty badass.
And then they come back and they play the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, in Arizona.
In Arizona.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Hey, I did watch the whole game.
Nice.
I will admit it. I was just chilling on the couch, and I had also mostly given up the faith, but that last drive,
Oh my God.
and then we scored 21 points in 2 minutes. Right
Yeah, less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was back and forth, back and forth.
Absolute nuts.
And it was pretty amazing to see it happen with DK Metcalf too. To
Yeah.
have those 2 huge plays down the line,
big
just
fourth down
so
plays.
clutch.
A
Yeah,
4th and 10
Yeah.
and a 4th and goal.
yeah.
Holy moly!
And how many? That's like got to be like 80 comebacks in the fourth quarter for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Now. He's like, that's what he does.
And I've got to give it to the defense. I mean, as poorly as they played, they had 5 starters. I think it was 5, maybe 6 starters that were out.
Our big safety, the new guy.
The big safety, Jamal Adams, he was out. They got a new guy, Snacks Harrison. They just brought in, but he wasn't ready to go.
Snacks Harrison.
Yep,
that's
he's
awesome.
a defensive line guy. I'm counting on 10 sacks from this guy.
Come
for
on,
the rest
Snacks,
of the year.
get them sacks.
Do it. But yeah, man, they came together when they needed to, man. They got the fumbles, they got the interceptions. KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner just blowing up people. Yeah, they did enough.
Yeah,
they did enough to win.
Yeah, well, hey, speaking of the Hawks,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen, we have another installment of Crazy 8. Nice. And tonight it is our top 8 players on the former or current Seahawks.
Yes.
So we wanted to share.
Yeah, we're keeping it going with the Seahawks. Especially since we don't have a game this week, right?
Exactly. We got to fill the void.
They're going to have to do housework, honeydew list on Sunday.
And I'd imagine we probably have some decent crossover in this one.
Yeah, we probably do, man. I
think you know them a little deeper than I do.
Okay.
I kind of became a bandwagon fan post what was it, Harbaugh and Hasselbeck or something?
Yeah.
And Sean Alexander,
yeah. So for me, man, I go back to the 70s. I was a kid. The Seahawks came to town, I think, in 76.
Nice.
I was 5 years old, so I mean, I remember the Chuck Knox era, the Kurt Warner, Jim Zorn, Dave Craig, all that good stuff. So yeah, I've got some deep cuts on this one.
All right. Well, you want to start us out, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go. Number 8, Cortez Kennedy.
Cortez Kennedy.
He was a force of defense, nose tackle in the 90s when the Seahawks absolutely sucked.
Ooh.
They sucked
Those
bad.
are like the Cowboys era.
Yeah. And this guy got 8 Pro Bowls, 5-time All-American, Defensive Player of the Year. He's on the All-Decade team for the 90s, 68 sacks in 10 years.
Wow.
He was only the second Seahawk player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Hey.
And he was the second one, another guy on the list we'll talk about, but he was one that played his entire career in Seattle. About 10 years.
Nice.
Hall of Fame guy. He passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago, but Cortez Kennedy, number 8.
Shout out to Cortez Kennedy. Nose tackle, number 8. I like it. Love those defensive powerhouses.
Yeah.
My number 8 is a recent departure from the Hawks, past few years. I've always loved John Ryan, that punter.
The Ginger Ninja.
Yeah, Ginger Ninja.
Yeah.
He was cracking jokes. He was hilarious. He was fun to watch.
Man, the best thing is when he threw that fake touchdown pass, that fake punt touchdown pass against Green Bay a few years ago in the NFC title game, which they came back and won. And he did the discount double check Aaron Rodgers thing. It was badass, man. Yeah, John Ryan, I miss him. The punter they got now is a brilliant guy. He's an Australian dude, Michael Dixon.
Holy moly.
But yeah, I always have an affinity for the redhead. Yeah.
John Ryan.
All right, well, my number 7 is also sort of a recent guy. He'd be higher on my list, but he kind of exited. He had some shenanigans. He flipped off the team. He went to the Cowboys locker room after a game and told them to come get him. But man, you can't argue that Earl Thomas was one of the best safeties ever to play the game.
Legion of Boom member.
Original Legion of Boom member.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be higher on my list if he hadn't had those shenanigans.
That guy hit, yeah. I should have had that guy on my list. I like him a lot. My number 7 is Sean Alexander, because that's kind of when I started getting into the Hawks, and he was powerhouse running back.
Yep.
Super talented. I loved watching him go through people and around people and over people and his cuts.
He a lot of knock on him was that he had just a brilliant offensive line, especially on the left-hand side with Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson. But he was the MVP of 2005 when the Seahawks went to Super Bowl for the first time.
All right.
And he amassed, I think it was 28 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, something like that, or 28 total touchdowns.
He was only with us for a few years, right?
98, 99, 2000, somewhere in there through about 2006. He just proved he couldn't play anymore. So.
I remember like commercials with him and him on like posters and stuff.
Yeah.
His big smile.
Yeah, infectious smile. Just a really nice guy.
So you stuck with me, Mr. Alexander. Number 7.
Well, my number 6 is also a running back.
All right.
I think he's the best running back in Seahawk history.
Oh.
And the reason I say that, he may not have had the best stats because he's up against Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
He's up against Kurt Warner in the 80s and stuff. But that is Beast Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode.
Beast Quake.
Yes.
I don't have to say any more. But you remember... I think he'd been higher on my list if he had stayed maybe a couple more years. He took that year off and then played for the Raiders for a couple years, and then he came back to Seattle. Wish he just finished his career with us. But I did the parade, man, when he was standing on the duck with the fireball on the Super Bowl parade. I'll never forget that.
Good.
Yeah,
he's my number 1, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We got a number 1.
I blew it.
We got a number 1 spot for you there.
Got it.
Mr.
Got
Lynch,
it.
Mr. Beast mode. My number 6 is our current coach, Mr. Pete Carroll.
Okay.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
I liked him at USC. I love his energy, and he just seems like a genuine coach. And I hear really cool stories about the organization and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Really brings out the full person and supports the
Oldest
full
coach
person.
in the NFL, but you wouldn't know it.
No, yeah, he's always jumping around and yelling, getting $100,000 fines for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's got to cover that up.
You're my number 6, coach.
Nice.
Keep it going.
Well, jumping down to my number 5 is the aforementioned Walter Jones, another Hall of Famer.
All right.
Here's the good thing about Walter. Not only was he just one of the best offensive linemen in history, this guy played 180 games,
Oh, my
had
goodness.
only 8 holding calls, and only 20 false starts in 180 games. Just a brilliant guy. Made Sean Alexander the runner I think he was. So
that's awesome. Well, and it's good to see O-line. That's in my experience with football, the O-line never gets as much props.
Doesn't get that much love.
They get yelled at when things are bad, but they never get the props when things go well. And they're really making it happen in the trench, right?
Right.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
The
Gotta
big
give love
uplifts.
to those guys. Yeah. Well, where are we? Number 5. My number 5 is current Seahawks era. Had a hell of a game last weekend, but Bobby Wagner.
He's my number 4.
Number 4, right? He's just such a leader, and he's been on the team forever. And
He came in the same
runs
year, I
that.
think, as Russ did.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think I saw
He
something
got
about
picked
that.
number 1,
Yeah.
or the second round, or something like that.
He's just tough, and he's a leader.
Middle linebackers, they're the quarterbacks of the defense.
Yeah,
They have a little radio in their helmets, just like the quarterback.
calling the plays and making adjustments.
So that's my number 4.
Oh, okay, so I've got to go to my number 4. Well, no, you got to go to your next one.
Oh, well, my number 3 is Steve Largent. Mr. Dependable, no fuss, just great catches, setting records.
All right, Steve Largent. All right, my number 4. Wasn't Steve Largent in the movie?
No, he was a congressman. He might have been in the movie.
No, there's another Hawk. Bodsworth. Brian Bodsworth.
Oh, Brian Bosworth, yeah.
He's
the
not on my
Boz, yeah. No, I hope he's not on your list.
My number 4 is a guy kind of in the vein of Earl Thomas, but Cam Chancellor. I have to give it to him.
Cam Chancellor is half of my number 1, and
He's
I'll
half.
explain that.
Oh, okay, all right. But watching that guy jump over the line for that field goal block, like that's gonna stick in my memory forever in Seahawks football lore.
All right. Well, my number 2, Russell Wilson,
Hey.
Mr. Clutch. Number 3, Mr. Fourth Quarter, the chef who's cooking, the kid. You name it, he is the best quarterback the Seahawks have ever sniffed.
He is an amazing athlete. And came out of nowhere, like drafted in like the 4th round or something.
Third round guy.
3rd round, yeah.
Competed against 2 veterans and won the job his rookie year, and it's been nonstop. He's made every game. He's never been injured.
All right, well, I'm going to burn through my next 2 and let you close us out on the 1, all right?
All right.
My number 3 was Russell Wilson, so we talked about that. Number 2 is Marcus Trufant. He was at DB at WSU. So.
Love Marcus.
Yeah.
Met him a few times. Really super sweet guy.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it on the list for the Cougs. Go Cougs.
Nice, go Cougs. And my number 1 is Cam Chancellor and Kenny Easley. Both free safeties, both hard hitters, both have their careers cut short by injury, both Pro Bowlers.
The timer is going.
Both big, well over 6 feet.
Cam Chancellor and Kenny Easley! Bet you know what that was. Bet you don't know what this is, though. This is Philosopher's Corner, coming to you live on filming the show evening here on Wednesday, October 14th. And I have another person to discuss with you tonight. A philosopher, an Englishman, who lived in the same time as Sir Isaac Newton, and they were actually friends and would get together. Sir Isaac spoke of this man, saying he was a loved friend and amazing company. I am speaking to you tonight of John Locke. He was born in 1632 and lived until 1704 in England, and is considered by many to be the father of liberalism. His works are really the biggest inspiration for our American Declaration of Independence. A lot of the concepts of liberty, property, limited government, separation of church and state can be traced back to his writings on politics. And so I wanted to give Mr. John Locke some shout out here tonight on Philosopher's Corner and share a little bit about his philosophies. John Locke, for his time, was a revolutionary. The idea that the government is morally obliged to serve the people, namely by protecting life, liberty, and property, was a revolutionary statement back in the monarchy days. And he actually penned most of his political writings anonymously and only took credit in his will due to some of the backlash he would receive to what today, as Americans, sound like core tenets of what government should be. He was one of the early thinkers on this concept. John Locke was also an empiricist. And in philosophy, that means he believed that people only get knowledge from experience and reason. There's nothing that we're born with, no innate skills. He popularized the idea that we are all born a blank slate, or a white piece of paper, as he would say. And it breaks into an interesting philosophical debate of referred to as a priori, or before you're born. Do we have any innate skills? Or a posteriori, which is after you're born. Everything comes from reason and experience. And these days, biologically, we can talk about instincts and things that we are born with, so the debate's being settled a little bit by science, which happens in a lot of philosophy. However, the view that all humans are born a blank slate and everybody has potential and should be treated equally under the law was revolutionary for his day, and it's really one of the foundations that our current government stands on. John Locke was exiled for a period of time in Holland as well for some of his views. And during, I forget the year, but during there was an English uprising where the government was essentially replaced, and he was allowed to come back. And so he died in England as well as being born in England. And so my call to you tonight on Philosopher's Corner is to think about those core tenets that our society sits on, and to realize that it wasn't always like that. We lived under monarchies and have had authoritarians in world government, worse than Trump. Although that guy needs to go, I will agree with that. However, this idea of liberty, of life, of the pursuit of happiness, of ownership of property for all people is relatively new in our society's history. So let's embrace that and not tear the whole thing down. This is Kyle coming to you from Philosopher's Corner. And we're back.
That was a nice Philosopher's Corner, dude. Very timely.
Oh, well, thank you. And as a poli-sci major, I'm sure you have heard of Mr. John Locke.
Yes.
Yes, and his influence on the world today.
Right.
If you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right on, Kyle. I see a big stack
Oh!
of board games in front of you.
Where did that come from?
Just appear. Boom. Magic of TV, right?
This is one of the benefits to, I guess I'm not single, I have a girlfriend, but being unmarried.
Yes.
Is I can just...
No judgment.
I can just freak out and feel a little arrogant in me and buy a bunch of board games.
That's right.
We thought I'd explain them to y'all and why I got them. So, First up here, we got Game of Thrones Catan, Brotherhood of the Watch.
Yeah, and Catan is like the new Monopoly, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
played it. It's kind of what started the new board game revolution, right?
A lot of
several years
people
ago.
really get into Catan. It's complex, but not like insanely crazy complex.
Right.
I'll put it over here.
There you go. You see it?
Yeah. And I played it once, and I really enjoyed it, but I've only played it once.
Yeah.
And I saw there was a Game of Thrones version, so I had to pick it up. And it's pretty cool. You're fighting for control of the Night's Watch, so you're trying to be Lord Commander.
Okay.
And like you're trying to collect resources and develop this area, as well as wildlings are coming over the wall and trying to stop you from doing that. So
interesting.
yeah, it looks pretty fun.
Okay.
Looks pretty fun.
We'll have to try that one out.
We'll give you a review after we try it. The next title that is now a part of my family is Gloomhaven: Jaws of the Lion.
Yes.
Now this game is the number one game on Board Game Geek, as far not this one, but the original Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven, yeah.
Yeah, very popular game, very huge, takes forever.
Yeah.
And this is a standalone kind of. It's the same game, but it's standalone, smaller scenarios.
Okay.
Get people familiar with the game.
Right.
And it's been released recently to go in between the expansion of Frosthaven, which will come out next year sometime.
Yeah, that's coming out soon, right?
Yeah. So I want us to play this. I think it would be a fun game.
Yeah.
Kind of a dungeon crawler.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. We gotta bring
Kyle, I'm glad that you have disposable income.
right? What's going on?
Look at me lucking out.
All right. Game number 3 is Scythe.
Yeah.
Scythe, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I've heard of this
Yeah.
game. I've seen it a lot, but I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, and I was kind of in the same boat. I just love the art. It's got like that
fantastic
steampunk, like
Yeah.
mechs, and then farmers.
Yeah.
I read a little bit about it. It's set in the 20s.
Okay.
And there was just a big war where this company called the Factory was making mechs. But the war just ended, and people are resettling the lands that were torn apart by war.
Oh, interesting.
And so you're part of a faction trying to resettle land.
Take place across the world, or just in certain regions?
It's got its own kind of world
Okay.
map. They call it Europa, but it doesn't look anything like Europe.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But there's like a Russian faction and a Czech faction. But so you're kind of resource building an economy and an industry, and kind of fighting with your neighbors at the same time.
Yeah,
so
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And there's things to
All right.
explore.
And the wars continue.
The wars continue. And then last but not least,
This is the one I'm really excited about.
Yeah, this game called Gatefall just came out of Kickstarter. That just got funded. Well, just got printed. It got funded last year, and it's kind of like an arcadey battle game where it's combining different genres. So this one, Chapter 1, is post-apocalyptic and fantasy.
Oh, wow.
So you either take the team of fantasy, which is like a wizard and a troll and a dwarf,
Okay.
or the team of post-apocalyptic, which is like shotguns and I
Nice.
think like a zombie that fights with you. And this portal opens up and you have to go fight. And it's kind of arcade where you're fighting the other guy, and the first person to collect 6 or 7 victory points wins that match.
Oh, interesting.
And there's already an
Dice
expansion.
game, all dice.
It's like, dice,
or-
and then each character has special abilities.
Okay.
And I gotta just show it for the people. 'cause
Yeah, this is
fun.
amazing. I love miniatures, and this is
Yeah, check out these
are
guys.
giant
They're
miniatures,
massive.
massive miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
very
insane.
cool.
And this
Very
game
cool.
looks fun. It got great reviews. They already have an expansion for a like wood elf team on
Oh,
Kickstarter, and
okay.
I already bought it.
Nice,
So,
good job.
we'll see when that shows up.
I
But
love you spending money.
yes, getting my game collection up. So here, I'll put these back up here. And
Yeah.
speaking of games, we have a game going on.
We do have a game going on.
Oh wait! Before we do though,
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. It just popped out of my head. It was important, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Never mind. It'll come back to me at some point.
Yeah. That's all the trouble you caused your body when you were younger.
When I bought all these games.
Yeah, we do have a game going on. What did we play? We played rounds 3 and 4
We did.
of World Axis and Allies.
Yes. We showed you the first 2 rounds last
Showed
week.
you the first 2 rounds in high-speed animation.
Yeah.
We'll show you another couple rounds. I think there's some very interesting things going on right now. Should we kind of
we've kind of come to this interesting spot.
Yeah. Russia, on my side, the Allies side, is not looking real strong right now. Germany did a nice blitzkrieg up across Eastern Europe.
We kind of
and
went for the
into Russia.
kill Russia
Real
first.
quick, that coupled with my playing Russia, trying to be a little bit more aggressive than defensive, didn't play well with this German. So we're going to see what happens. There's a big old battle coming.
Yeah.
Russia may fall. And then on the Pacific side, Japan is not looking very strong.
No, America has a ton of Navy in the water. Russia sent over tanks to help China. China still is there with a decent number of soldiers, and
China's still hanging around pretty good,
clawing to the coast.
Yeah,
looking a little in trouble.
So Japan's going to be interesting. Nothing's going to happen probably to Japan in the next 2-3 rounds.
There's some more
maneuvering going on. But America's going to get very aggressive. I'll give you a little hint there.
All right.
America's going to get a little aggressive with the happenings.
Yeah.
Other than that, Africa is under British control.
Yep.
There's no German Navy. There's a little bit of Italian Navy. So it's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Germany's going to be pretty gosh darn mighty here.
Germany is, and there's some worry because U.S. and the U.K. are starting to look at the Mediterranean, like you'll see in the laps. But towards the end there's actually some threats showing up in the Med. So gonna have to pay some more attention.
Did you notice that, huh?
I did, yeah. But hey, check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. It's a pretty cool clip.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowin' reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a toot-a-toot, a toot, he blows it eight to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes a company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. And when he plays boogie-woogie bugle, he was busy as a bzzz bean. And when he plays, he makes the company jump eight to the bar. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Do-do-do-do-da-da, do-da-da, do-do, he blows it eight to the bar. He can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
We meet and the angels sing. The angels sing the sweetest song I ever heard. You speak and the angels sing. Or am I reading music into every word? Suddenly the setting is strange. I can see water and moonlight beaming, silver waves that break on some undiscovered shore. Then suddenly I see it all change. Long winter nights with the candles gleaming. Through it all your face that I adore. You smile and the angels sing. And though it's just a gentle murmur at the start, we kiss and the angels sing and leave their music ringing in my heart.
know, our cutting edge studio. We should really call the landlord and say, hey,
Complain.
come on, man.
Come on, we
Tech
need more
issues.
soundproofing. We need more.
We're getting voicemails from Charlie Sheen, Joe Biden, Donald
Right?
Trump, President Obama.
Man, that's a good list right there.
Yeah,
That's a good list.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's solid. Well,
Nice.
hey, we're coming to the end, but we wanted to do a little company update.
Yeah.
It's important. We got
Yeah.
not anything brand new news, but some reminders for you people out there.
Yep.
One, we are still sitting on that new selling account. So if you
Yeah.
could go buy a game from us on Amazon and leave a seller review.
Yeah, we've sold a few. We need to remind them
Yes,
to give us a
yes.
review if they wouldn't mind.
Yes.
But yeah, we love
rebuilding.
the support.
Yeah. So thank you.
That'd be great.
We'll even sign it if you send a special request.
Oh yeah.
And really, we kind of prefer the purchasing from our website because the fees are lower, but yeah, what you gonna do?
Do it.
We're a transparent company.
Check out our website at the end of this, so
Yeah,
we'll include it there.
And also, the call for pets is still in effect. So I've received 22 pets, and what I'm talking about
You got
is getting
22 already?
22 pets. And what we're doing is collecting 54 pets so we can make another deck for compatibility right there. We want to use your pets. So if you have pets and you would like them to be forever endeared on a kids game card,
Yeah.
let us know. We got Kyle M at dunscapgames.com, Charles B at dunscapgames.com. Just go to our website. We're
go to
easy
the
to go,
website.
easy to contact
Easy to
us.
find.
Send us some pets.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll live in immortality.
Yes, forever and ever. Indeed.
Nice.
Yeah. And we can't end the show without a nuts question.
Yeah, I don't know if we did that last week, so let's hit it up, man. Let's
Yeah.
show them what it's all about.
Some soup to nuts.
Soup to
The
nuts.
nuts being the
Why don't
crazy
you go, why
weird
don't you go
question.
first? You can ask me.
All right.
Just pick the top card. Just pick the top one. Let's just do that. We've been running into some of the same ones.
All right, here we go. Here we go, Charles.
Yes.
For the nuts. If you were given unlimited resources,
Okay.
how would you lure the worst of humanity into a stadium at the same time?
Oh my God! Read that to me one more time.
If you were given unlimited resources,
Okay.
how would you lure the worst of humanity
The worst.
into a stadium
Gotcha.
at the same time?
Doesn't ask what we do once they get to the stadium, but I have some ideas.
Okay. how would you get them there?
How would I get them there? Free gas station burritos.
Oh, that's kind of tempting to me a little bit.
Well, maybe you're supposed to be in the stadium.
Yeah, maybe.
You could have like what is the Kardashian show? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You could have that on the big jumbotron.
Mm-hmm.
Free beer.
Free beer, yes.
That would get a lot, but that would get a lot of good people too.
Free beer and wine, yeah.
But if you had the Kardashians on the big screen, then the good people wouldn't want to be there, right?
Good point, good point.
You know what? Just tell them it's a Trump rally.
Oh! A Trump rally. Yeah,
They'll show up in droves.
they will.
A maskless Trump rally.
I feel like that question just got easier with that statement. Because
Yeah.
it would work. A
With
maskless-
free pinatas
free pinatas?
and vodka.
Vodka and pinatas and Trump speeches.
And Trump speeches. Yeah, he'll be the headlining act. All right, let me ask you one.
all
Let me
right.
ask you one. I'm just going to grab
Yeah.
this top one right here.
All right.
Oh, this is perfect for Mr. Kyle.
Uh-oh.
Although he's not wearing one today.
Oh.
Actually, he's not wearing either one of these today.
Oh,
Kyle,
indeed.
next question. What's better? A really cool hat or comfortable shoes?
Oh, I like that question, actually. I do prefer, I enjoy both things. I like my shoes comfy, and I love really cool hats.
Yeah.
I probably should have worn a hat tonight, kind of regretting that now. But I gotta go with the hat, and my reason is I see myself in a hat more often. Like it would be more a part of my outfit.
Personality.
It would feel like a bigger part.
Piece of you.
Yeah, a bigger piece of me.
Yeah, I'm not a big hat guy. I got glasses, they kind of clash. Baseball hats once in a while, so for me, comfortable shoes.
Shoes all the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hats. I freak out and sometimes end up on hat websites.
Oh.
Drooling a little bit. And then I only wear
Games and
the
hats.
show. Right? Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But I think that's about what we got
That's it, man.
tonight. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks for keeping up. And this is episode 7.
Episode 7. Like it, share it,
Yes.
comment on it,
Indeed.
tell your friends,
Yeah.
watch it multiple times,
Indeed. Put it on your channels.
send us emails, send us voicemails.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. If you'd like to see us do something that we're not doing, let us know.
Yeah.
We just might do it.
Like being better.
I guess we could do that. But
We could do that. All right.
yeah. Well,
Kyle,
should we take him out?
you gonna rock it out tonight?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle McCurdy.
I'm not.
Thank you for watching, and good night.